let's go right ahead and get into this Thursday night football prediction. As I said before, the two teams that are going to be matching up against each other are the Steelers and the Browns. One team plays really, really bad and somehow finds ways to win. The other team plays really, really bad and just cannot find ways to win. And I'm sure you guys can easily tell which team is which based on the records. The Steelers are 8-2 right now, and the Browns are 2-8 right now. I completely expected that the Steelers would finish in around 500 and would finish with most likely a positive record this season, but I did not expect their record to be this positive this early in the NFL weeks. Like, I did not expect them to have this good of a record in week 11 going into week 12. But I mean, this is the Steelers that we're talking about. The Steelers team, it doesn't matter how bad they play football. It doesn't matter how bad they play offense. It doesn't matter like what they're doing wrong on offense. This is a team that, regardless of how bad it is, finds a way to win games. And whether it be through their defense, whether it be through their special teams, whether it be through something outside of offense, they always find ways to win games. It is incredible what the Steelers can do and the wins that these Steelers can pull off. And the fact that they were able to win the last two games that they've played without scoring a touchdown makes me very, very jealous. In fact, it makes me super jealous. Like, the last few games that they played, their offense was absolutely horrible. I mean, in the last game against Washington, they did get a lot of touchdowns coming in from the Commanders, going against the Commanders, excuse me. But there have also been several games where they just don't really take enough, they don't really score any touchdowns. And, excuse me, allergies. And sickness. But aside from that, I mean, this team they're really, really good. And they just find ways to win. And they won last game against the Ravens without scoring a single touchdown. They won on nothing but field goals, giving me an extreme PTSD because, the Giants earlier in the season lost to nothing but field goals. And it was a really heartbreaking loss. Similar to how this Ravens losing to the Steelers is also a heartbreaking loss in last week, because for some reason Lamar Jackson, he just can never beat the Steelers. The Steelers always seem to have a number on Lamar. But regardless of that, this Steelers team is unbelievable. Like, the fact that they've been this good, and, well, not really this good, this solid of a team for so long under Mike Tomlin is incredible. And the Browns, they really, really cannot stand that. I mean, for the last few years, they've basically dominated the Browns, aside from that one year when Baker Mayfield just destroyed them in the postseason and the team got really angry and decided to beat the Ben Roethlisberger-led Steelers. And it was a bad send-off for Ben Roethlisberger in that retirement year. But again, that team, I believe they started out 11-0, and they were really expected to, be a very solid contending team. Then they dropped a couple games late in the weeks, and they could not make it past in the wild card matchup against the Browns because the Browns basically beat them in the entire first quarter. But this is not the same story for the Browns. Now, as I said before, this Browns team, they play ugly and they just don't win games. It's similar to the Steelers, how they can play ugly at times, but the difference is that the Steelers, they're able to win games, whether it be by their defense or their special teams. In fact, Minkah Fitzpatrick, the safety for the Steelers, actually played at my high school when in New Jersey, and he obviously, he graduated from Alabama, so of course he's great, but, there's some ties over there. And I really think that the Steelers team is easily going to beat this Browns team. This Browns team is very, very bad. And for as inconsistent as the Steelers have been offensively, I don't think that's going to really be much of a problem against the Browns. Regardless, whether they have Chubb in the game or not, I'm not entirely sure exactly what his status is, but I genuinely think that the Steelers team is easily going to be able to beat them. And they're just a team that finds ways to win. And it's a very rare sight that you find a lot of these teams. Like, this was, at least in my opinion, it's sort of the same sort of weirdness that Tom Brady with the Patriots had. So it's like, it didn't matter how bad the offense would be for the first 3 quarters on Tom Brady's team, regardless whether it be on the Bucs or whether it be the Pats, but they would play some really bad offense, and they would still find ways to win games because their defense is just that elite. Like, that entire first year with Tom Brady at quarterback, you could argue, I mean, that offense was absolutely terrible when it was led by Tom Brady. In fact, like, when in Tom Brady's first Super Bowl win, in that entire playoff series, he's led his offense to just 9 points per game. But they were still able to go all the way and win a Super Bowl, and they just were able to find ways to win, disrupting the other team's offense. I mean, they completely slowed down the greatest show on turf, and they also benefited with a pick 6. So it's like they just do things that allow the team to win. And I previously said before that one of the most underrated things in football, but probably some of the most important things in football, is being able to block and being able to tackle. And if you are able to do both of those things, chances are you are going to be able to win a lot of football games. And this is what the Steelers team does most of the time. Regardless of how bad their offense can play, they always seem to find ways to win. I mean, we saw it against the Ravens. They were able to tackle. They were able to force Derrick Henry to fumble, which is like a 1 in a million opportunity. That was like a 1 in a million chance of that even happening. The last time Derrick Henry fumbled was like forever ago. It was so many days that I don't even remember the exact number, but it was a very, very long time since Derrick Henry last fumbled up until that game. It's weird. Like, we joke about not we, like me, but the media, they like to joke about the Chiefs having double magic and the Chiefs just finding ways to win. The Steelers do more or less the exact same thing in finding ways to win. Difference may be that the Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, the quarterback situation seems to be playing a little bit better. I mean, Russell Wilson has only been playing a few games with the Steelers, and he's undefeated with them, throwing 6 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, which is it's a slightly better touchdown to interception ratio than Patrick Mahomes, and we know that Patrick Mahomes has been very, very, very inconsistent in this season. He's nowhere near the same monster that we saw him in his first 2 or 3 years in the NFL. And it is a little bit concerning, at least for me, because I really do like Patrick Mahomes and I really do like his play and how he plays football. But a lot of people, they like to say that the Chiefs, they have that double magic, and they have like it doesn't matter. It's weird. It's insane how they're able to win these games. And, I mean, the Browns, again, they don't really have that. They don't have a way to win games regardless of which quarterback situation they have, whether it be Deshaun Watson, whether it be Jameis Winston. I mean, they both have their problems. I mean, they only scored 14 points against the Saints and got destroyed. Then they only scored 10 points against the Chargers and also got destroyed. And they were able to somehow beat the Ravens 29-24, but I think that was more of a fluky win than the Browns actually being a solid team. So for this matchup, I'm sticking with my gut, and I'm sticking with the Steelers. And let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys think maybe this is the game that the Browns would upset the Steelers, but I completely doubt that, as history has proven to be rather consistent so far in these division rivalries. So with that being said, that's all that I have for the first segment. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the second segment, where I talk about the All-Star format and I give my opinions to the best of my understanding, because it is a new thing and I only have to go off of like tweets from Shams and a lot of other reports and how the formatting is going to be. So I'll be right back after the short break, so be sure to stay tuned.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody